Hey everyone. Okay, look on the screen. These are reportedly the two parents. So six children found in a storage unit. No power, no water, and where's the food? Out of the trash. They don't want these kids, is all I can think about. They were getting assistance. And think, six in a storage unit. Oh my gosh. The bucket was the toilet for the children. Whew. This sounds like to me these parents don't want these kids, but see, I've been saying some people use their womb as a wallet, but the children can bring on what financial benefits. Mm-hmm. So can you six kids?
Equipment. But in the early morning hours Tuesday, someone heard a baby cry from inside a unit and called 911.
Police are on scene requesting a forced entry. They believe a baby is locked in one of the storage lockers.
Baby.
12 News there as Milwaukee police and firefighters entered the unit. Inside, six kids, the youngest 2 months old and the oldest just 9.
So, and the 9-year-old was watching the kids. These horrible people, irresponsible parents, don't even deserve the title parent. How the heck you got 5 and can't make it now and you got a 2-month-old? These kids can bring in a check. A 2-month-old, the oldest is 9.
Officers say the children appeared to be asleep. The 5-year-old telling a detective, "We're not supposed to be loud." Photos from inside show the cramped quarters, a twin mattress, and a beat-up sofa. Investigators also photographed a bucket used as a toilet. Detectives describing the smell in the unit as so putrid they could not remain inside, even with the garage door open.
The only light these poor children had to have was the crack of light that came through the bottom of the garage.
So can you imagine the panic and fear, the psychological damage? Sitting up in here with food from the garbage, there was no power, no electricity. So these kids are sitting up in the 2 months old to age 9 in a store. It's hot. In a storage unit, sitting up in the darkness. You know they probably weren't going to school. What do you think? School is in. It's September. I bet they weren't even going to school.
We have your children stating that they had no food, that the only food they found was from the garbage.
The criminal complaint charges parents, Charles DePriest and Asia Zelinsky, with multiple counts of child neglect.
Ma'am, do you understand those charges and the potential maximum penalties?
Don't start crying now,
Investigators
girl.
found the parents sleeping in a Ford Expedition in the parking lot with their dog.
Now, the parents, they're in a Ford Expedition in the parking lot with their dog. So they have an SUV. Did you catch what the judge said? The middle row was completely empty. The dog was in there. The middle row was completely empty. Listen to this.
One of the children told police she was upset the dog got to sleep in the car while she and her siblings slept in the unit.
The middle row was completely empty, and the dog had the back row all to himself.
They love the kids. No, the kids equal a check, a way to survive. So they decide to shelter that dog in that vehicle with them and leave the children in the storage. This may sound cruel, but I wouldn't put it past people. It makes me wonder if they wanted those kids to not survive that storage. People treat you how they see you, how they feel about you. They love you, respect you, disrespectful. That's what they think about you. That's how they feel about you. We can go ahead and be delusional. Well, now she. Sounds like to me the dog getting better treatment. They don't want these kids, in my opinion. They sure as hell don't love them. I hate people, they try to come up with always lame excuse. The help that they need is on lockup, both of them. And don't forget, they were getting assistance. Is there drug usage going on? They were getting assistance. But one more time, listen to what the judge said about it. So think that the kids can see they're jealous of the treatment that their parents are giving to a dog compared to them.
Got to sleep in the car while she and her siblings slept in the unit.
The middle row was completely empty.
So the dog is with them.
Yes, ma'am.
Investigators found the parents sleeping in a Ford Expedition in the parking lot with their dog. One of the children told police she was upset the dog got to sleep in the car while she and her siblings slept in the unit.
The middle row was completely empty.
Wow.
And the dog had the back row all to himself as these children slept in a locked storage container with one twin mattress on the floor.
The 9-year-old tasked with taking care of his siblings, telling police he would not know how to get out in an emergency.
This is horrific. Ma'am, I see you are broken up. I hope you realize how lucky you actually are that none of these children have died.
Kendall, this is a story that's really just hard to wrap your mind around. Investigators say the family was receiving assistance.
Right, Deanna, food stamps and $2,000 a month in Social Security benefits. Mom told investigators the family had gotten kicked out of Joy House, which is a shelter for women and children. And the Milwaukee Rescue Mission did confirm they were giving the family assistance in July, but said they verified the family had permanent housing before they left the shelter.
So hold on. So she was in Joy House that helps women and children. Why were you kicked out? But now she's with a man in an SUV, and they're getting food stamps and $2,000 a month in cash. You can't find an extended stay. Where's the money going? Because you're not going. A storage sure as hell not costing $2,000. Some women are using their womb as a paycheck. They need these kids to survive, them and the man. I mentioned before, I think on the channel, this was crazy. So when I knew, she was a grandmother, and so she had custody of her grandson. Her daughter just never could get it together, and basically, she ended up getting custody of the children. The father, and I don't think they had the same father, but his father, yeah, different. You know how that goes. His father of the boy decides to pop up, seeing the baby dad of the child, his mother. So the baby dad's mom, she was familiar with the system like welfare and all that. So her son wasn't working, yada, 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 was in her place. So she said, the boy decided to stop by and, I want to see my son, and kind of get him for the weekend. Next thing you know, the child stayed gone for months, like kidnapping. It's like he never did bring him back. Never did bring him back. And it was like during the summertime. So it was like going over there. Oh, he's not here. He's not here. Long story short, guess what happened? She said that the father of the child, the baby dad, had been staying with his mom, who was also on the system. He's an adult, like in his 20s. They found out he tried to get on a housing program for welfare. Yeah, see, the mom's a good idea. Hey, you get your son. Then you get housing and food stamps and get a check. Turns out he went down to a welfare office and tried to apply for benefits for him and the child, so that way he could get his own stuff going, basically live off the kid. And this kid was like around, maybe first grade. So when he went down there to get some help, they had a term where they're like, oh no, this kid is already in the system. He's already in the system with the benefits and blah, 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 and all that. When he realized that, guess what happened? He wasn't going to get the benefits that he was seeking. And I think it was his mother's idea. He brought the child back. He brought his son back, and they've had him ever since. What does that tell you? He couldn't make it on his own. Drug use would not surprise me. I don't know if he's been caught with it, but seems to be that kind of person, because the mom was sure like that, just smoking and but yeah, had the kid that whole summer and tried to get some benefits from the state in order to survive. And it turns out the kid was in the system. He realized that it wasn't going to happen. You're not going to sit up here and have him as a dependent. It is not going to happen. And that's when he brought the child back. Isn't that something? So let's not try to pretend that, these things happen. 6 kids? You think, some people want to be delusional. Not all parents love their kids, you think? The dog is sitting up there. I bet the AC was running. If it's hot. And the kids can see they're choosing the dog over me. Get the help that they need. Yes, in jail. One more time. Wow.
Tasked with taking care of his siblings, telling police he would not know, sleeping in a Ford Expedition in the parking lot with their dog. One of the children told police she was upset the dog got to sleep in the car while she and her siblings slept in the unit.
The middle row was completely empty, and the dog had the back row all to himself. As these children slept in a locked storage container with one twin mattress on the floor.
The 9-year-old, tasked with taking care of his siblings, telling police he would not know how to get out in an emergency.
How can he get out in an emergency when the darn thing is said it was locked? Wow. This is crazy.
This is horrific. Ma'am, I see you are broken up. I hope
she ain't broken up enough for me. She worried about herself is what I think.
How lucky you actually are that none of these children have died.
They don't care is what I think.
It's really just hard to wrap your mind around. Investigators say the family was receiving assistance.
All right, Deanna, food stamps and $2,000 a month in Social Security benefits. Mom told investigators the family had gotten kicked out of Joy House, which is a shelter for women and children, and the Milwaukee Rescue Mission.
So she was kicked out of Joy House. You know what? I bet because of, I got to get with my man. A shelter for women and children, and they were kicked out. Let me guess, breaking the rules. Getting food stamps and $2,000 a month. Where was the money going? Kicked out of the shelter for women and children. I bet this might be the reason. That's to get my man. $2,000 a month and food stamps. The storage unit probably maybe $80, $70, maybe $100. Where's the rest of the money going? It makes me wonder, is that why he popped up? This could be the best thing that happened to those children. They may have to go in separate homes, but it could be one of the best things. Maybe give them a chance. I hope they find adequate housing and a loving home. It was locked, but the dog is in there with them in the vehicle. If they were such caring parents, then why couldn't one of them stand a source with the kids? take turns. If that's your living arrangement, I have them in the vehicle together. They said it was an SUV. Second row, empty. The dog got the last row to himself. Wow. Speaks volumes. Let me know what you all think. This one is unbelievable. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out. It's crazy.